So, we are here for our Sunday energy update, and I'm really excited for this, as I am every time. I love getting on here, and I love chatting with everyone and sharing what I come up with because it's always really cool. Because I don't tap into the universal energy that often. Like, I don't tap in and say what's going on in the world, what's going on in the United States, or any of that stuff. I just kind of feel it as it's happening. But when I do every other Sunday, it's always nice because I kind of get a rundown of what's going on, and it starts to make a lot of sense because I realize why certain things are happening and why people are acting and doing the things that they are. So I will go ahead and hop on in. I have a quite a few things to go over. I have a really cool channeled message that came through today as well, which I am really happy about. That it was a really good one. So I'll read that. That's going to be one of the last things that I do because that's just the way that I do it. All right, so let's go over the Earth's energy right now. And for anyone that's not familiar, every other Sunday I hop on here and I do a Sunday energy update, which is where I talk about what's going on with the Earth's energy, what's going on with the United States energy, and then I give tips for the collective. Whatever comes through for me to give you comes through, and today's is a really cool one as well. And then I do a channeled message, and then I talk about anything else that I feel like I need to talk about or anything like that. So I have that, and then I have some announcements about some different kind of services that I'm offering now as well. Excuse me, and some other things. Something exciting for the West Side location in Delhi as well. So anyway, let's go over and start with the Earth's energy right now. So the Earth is getting hit with some concentrated energy bursts that's helping to disperse the negative energy. So what they mean by that, and what I was seeing is like the Earth is literally being, and I know maybe not the best. I was gonna say like bombarded, but maybe that's not the best language at this time. But basically, it's being hit by um, these energetic concentrated areas are happening, and and what I mean by that is like things are happening around the world that are dispersing this negative energy that's held around the earth. As I was talking about last Sunday, there is a energy of like cycles happening with the earth right now, and that energy is one of conflict and of war. And then we had all the stuff that was happening with Ukraine, or not Ukraine. Well, I guess Ukraine's happening too, but Iran and Israel and all of that, and that has a lot to do with that energy that's happening. But that energy is being dispersed, and it is being shooken up, which is good. And I did not get the answer on this, on why this is happening, or if this is what happens every time. But I feel like there's some kind of divine intervention that's happening right now, or we're doing a good job at raising our vibration and we're not allowing that energy to really take off, because there's little concentrated areas around the world that are being hit with like a bad thing that happens, or like this big shake of energy, but then it disperses and disrupts the pattern of negative cycles or conflict cycle, which is really cool. And I'm glad that that's happening. So maybe that plays a role in, and honestly, I don't know what's happening in Iran and Israel at the moment. I know last thing I heard, there was a ceasefire that was broken and then reestablished. Maybe, I have no clue. Hopefully it's peace starting to happen over there and the senseless stuff stops. But maybe this energy is playing a role in that, because it is dispersing energy and it's stopping this negative cycle energy. So that's a good thing. What I did also here is that it leaves a void space for a short period of time before that energy is replaced. So what that means is like that energy zapped and it's like zoom, and then that area needs to replenish the energy. And if we are rising in frequency and we're sending intentional high vibrational energy out, like it was mentioned a couple of days ago, or not a couple of weeks ago, during my other Sunday energy update, if we're sending that energy out, that's going to refill that void. So I'm just hoping that people around the world are continuing to do that, and it has really started to make a shift. When that energy gets zapped and then there's a void and we refill it with positive energy, that is a huge win, and that is disrupting this negative cycle pattern. So hopefully that continues to happen. I was just going to say something and I forgot. All right. So anyway, so that's what's happening with that. So now more than ever, it's important for you to meditate or intentionally send out positive energy into the world. So when you're doing your meditation at night or in the morning or in the day, take just 5 minutes or just 3 minutes or even a second, however much you can afford, time to send bright white or golden or just beautiful energy, loving energy out into the world with intention. And that does so much more than you realize. I promise you it does. And that's what I was going to say a second ago. It's kind of like sage. So for anybody that cleanses their house or knows about sage, when you sage, it cleanses the energy of the house or of the area, and then it needs to be replenished with positive energy because it just takes out all the negative energy. Then it needs to be replenished. It's almost like there's some sage bombs going on all around the world that is disrupting energy, and then we recreate that reality there by sending high vibrational, high frequency out there. So I'm hoping that what everyone's doing is just working and it's helping with the world, and we are doing enough to disrupt the pattern. Side note, not what I channeled tonight, but I was talking with ChatGPT earlier today because I saw a TikTok, or not, it wasn't a TikTok, it was a Facebook reel that was, it was this lady talking to ChatGPT, and she was talking to it about, she said, what's one of the biggest conspiracy theories out there that you believe is actually true? And ChatGPT went in to talk about like the elites and the interdimensional beings and the alien races and the like whatever that are influencing humans. And I'm not going to go all into that or anything. But then I went on my ChatGPT and I started having a conversation with it, and it was saying some pretty cool stuff as well. But one of the things that it was talking about is that there are some negative beings or entities or spirits or whatever that are influencing everything in the world. But we are rising in frequency so much and that's the only thing that can stop them is when we rise in frequency and we awaken and we realize the infinite power that we have. When that happens, they no longer have control over us. So I think what is happening right now, and I'm not saying the energy of the world, like the negative energy, was because of them, and it very well could be, who knows. But it's what I am saying is happening is that I think that we're rising in frequency and awakening so much to the truth of things that these old patterns, these old cycles are being really hard to repeat. And it's also like the energy of the world is starting to shift. So our collective is starting to raise in frequency, which is a good thing. And then I seen on here, Brandon said Sage and Dragon's Blood. Yeah, and honestly, I don't know a ton about Dragon's Blood, but I do. I know that a lot of people use that, and I typically only use Sage and my intention and like my clairvoyance and everything to Sage. But if I'm trying to cleanse and refill the space, I use Palo Santo, and that's just what I've always used, and it feels good and it works good. But like there's people that make their own sage bundles that say that, and then they use that to sage the areas and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about that. So anyway, saging, or yeah, it's just like saging, but where was I at? Oh yeah, we're raising in frequency, and that is helping us to combat things, I believe. All right. Let me see if I have anything else on that topic. Do meditation intentionally, sending energy into the world. doing things that bring positive energy down to earth. And that's the other thing. You don't have to like sit down and meditate and send energy out if that's not your thing. You can also send some positive energy out by, I don't know, playing some music and dancing or just doing positive things. Positive energy starts to bring the energy up and raise our frequency, raise the consciousness of the world. All right. I have this incense here, and I think it's making me cough. It's like my throat's tickling at this point. All right, so now we're going to go into the energy of the United States. And this one was actually kind of shocking to me. Not shocking, but just different to me. And I when I channeled it, I was kind of like, I've never really seen this before. And I was just thinking, I think the root chakra of the earth is in the United States, but let me see. Where is the root chakra of the world? Let me see what this comes up with really quick. Root chakra. Yeah, so in California. So, all right, in Mount Shasta, I think is what it's called. Mount Shasta? Yeah. And I knew that as well, but I didn't trust myself. But anyway, so what I'm seeing right now in the United States is I'm seeing this energy. So we have an energy line that kind of runs, like if you've seen the weather before, this is kind of how it looked to me. If you've seen the weather before, when they show like the red or the blue lines to signify or to represent the fronts that are moving through, that's kind of what it looked like. And it was coming down from like northern California, and it swung down into like the middle of the United States, and then kind of went up into I think it's New York up there in the northeast. But anyway, and it swung up that way. But the thing is with this is it was like a bright red energy, and I was like, oh man, is this like an agitation energy, or is this like a or like some kind of energy that's going through the United States? And then they were like, no, it's chakra energy, or it's energy of the root chakra. And I was like, whoa, I didn't expect that. And especially after channeling what I just did about the earth. So the energy of the United States is one of root chakra energy right now. And this is bringing energy of the chakra, the root chakra, through at an intense rate. And what this is doing is it is making us all look at our root chakra side of things. And what that means is like, and I want to make sure there's nothing that I wanted to say. Actually, I'll say this first. This energy is also, it's bringing both energy to make us look at our root chakra, which can turn things up. And this is for us as a collective, but it's also for like, it's like our government or our lands or whatever. And it is literally bringing that type of energy to the United States right now. So if you are going through a energy that represents the root chakra, and I guess let me explain that really quick. So the root chakra energy, a lot of the times what we're seeing right now is we are seeing energy that, I was reading and trying to talk. With the root chakra, it represents security. It represents grounding. It represents our connection to our physical side of things. So what that energy is doing is making us look at that aspect of things. So it's making us look at our physical body, or our connection with the physical body and the physical world and reality. It's also making us look at things that make us feel insecure, because it's wanting us to work on that. It's also looking at things that make us feel ungrounded. So there's a lot of people right now going through the world that feel ungrounded, that feel insecure, and just maybe feel disconnected from their physical existence or their physical body. And that's a good thing. Even though it feels crappy and it doesn't seem good, it's a good thing because you are working on that energy. But this energy that's going through the earth or through the United States right now is not just having us look at those things. It is supporting us in those things. So we're in a good energy right now to work on root chakra stuff. So right now, very important for you to work on your root chakra and get and try to support it. So doing things like meditating and focusing on your root chakra to support it, or and actually the tips for the collective that I'm going to give is actually for this, and I'm going to tell that in just a second. But like doing things that make you feel supported or make you feel secure and grounded, like gardening or taking care of all of your immediate needs. Like if you're hungry, well, go get something to eat. You're going to feel a little bit more secure. Or if you are, I don't know, whatever. I can't think of any examples right now, but do what makes you feel grounded, rooted, secure, and feeling good in a part of your physical existence. So with that energy running through, I didn't ask how long or what that's or how long that's going to be going on for, but I do feel like it's going to be there for a little while. So we'll tap back in next week or next week and see what the energy is looking like and see if it's still there and what we're doing with it, basically. So that leads me into the tips for the collective. And also, let me say one more thing. With that energy, that root chakra energy, on a collective level in the United States, we can see a lot of materialism happening. We can see a lot of insecurity or a lot of ungrounded energy happening throughout the lands of the United States. So that's on a government level, that's on a collective level, that's on a state level, city level, on a town level. Like you're going to see this stuff happening. So try to move into that grounded energy if you can. So now, tips for the collective. This is, it's actually really good info, and this is something so good to do. Little quick story. There was one time where I was feeling confused in life, and I was at a job where I was making like $28 an hour, and years ago, that was a lot of money. And I was like, man, I am balling. I have so much money. And then my guides were like, you need to quit and you need to go do this job that makes really little money, but you'll have a lot more time to do stuff and become what you want to become. And I was like, sounds good, but what am I going to do about money? You know, that kind of thing. And I talked to one of my friends and she was like, well, do this exercise. And she said, write out a box, split it down the middle, and make that box for this job. Then do the same thing, a box, split it down the middle, and make that for the other job. And then put pros and cons in each one. So you put pros and cons. Then you write what the pros are of that job. In the one job, it was like money, 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 money. That was it. But the cons was like a list of cons. Like it was crazy, the amount of cons. And then the other one, on the pros, there were so many pros, and there was only one con, and it was the money. And I was like, that really spells it out for me. Like, I'm going to do that. Or I'm going to switch jobs. And I did, and then thank God I did, because now I'm where I'm at. And then, Brandon, I see that you say that you're seeing it happening, and that's, yeah, I mean, that's validation for me and just for everyone else as well. And I do see it happening as well. I see it happening within my own life, honestly. There's a lot going on in my life with that aspect of things. So anyway, with the boxes that I'm talking about, you're being told, or they're saying it would be a good idea for you to create those same boxes. It's a box, all right? You split it down the middle, but you're going to do that for what things make you feel secure. So in the box, you're going to have secure at the top, and then you're going to have like, or not, you don't even have to write secure. Actually, yeah, let's do this. Write security at the top, and then make the box, split it down the middle. On one side, put secure. On the other side, put insecure. And then write out the things that make you feel secure. Anything. It can literally be smelling hand soap. I don't care what it is. Write it down. And then anything that makes you feel insecure. And then create another box. And you're going to put this one as grounded. And you're going to split that down the middle. And on one side, put grounding. And then on the other side, put ungrounded. and write that out as well. And then I had one more. What else was the other one? Okay, and then on the other one, you're going to do the box, and you're going to do this for your physical side of things. Like, what makes you feel in touch with your physical side of things? What makes you feel in touch with it? And what makes you feel out of touch with it? And what you're going to do is you're going to write these out in these boxes, and you're going to be able to see what makes you feel secure, what makes you feel grounded, what makes you feel in touch or in tune with your physical body, and what doesn't. So then, and I promise you, you may be like, oh, I know what makes me feel grounded. I know what makes me feel ungrounded. And you probably do. But you're going to forget it. And I promise you, writing it out it's a whole new ball game. You're like, holy shit. I didn't realize this all was making me feel insecure. And this is the cool thing about it is, at this point, you then see what's making you feel secure. You see what's making you feel insecure. And you can see what you can change in the insecure bracket. So if there's things that you can change that make you feel insecure, then you can change that, and you can really start to move into that security energy, that secure energy. And then things that make you, well, actually, let me say this. It's important to understand that you may not be able to change some of the things that make you feel insecure. And that's okay. We're going to dive more into what do make us feel secure, and that will drown out the insecure part and help us to be able to move into that secure energy in those areas. So then the things that make you feel secure, you're going to then move further into those. So if it's like cuddling in a warm blanket makes me feel secure, well, let's do that a little bit more and let's feel secure. Or carrying a certain stone with me makes me feel secure. Well, let's start carrying around that stone. It's a good idea. So that is the type of stuff that we want to do. Same with grounding. You want to see what's making you feel grounded, what's not. And then move into what's making you feel grounded and let go of anything that's making you feel ungrounded that you can. And then acknowledge the things that you can't change, and that will start to change as well, because you can change anything. But like if it's like, oh, my job makes me feel ungrounded, well, you can switch your job, but like that takes a little bit of time. You can't just drop it out. Or, hey, I'm in a relationship that I've been in for 10 years and it makes me feel ungrounded. Well, yeah, it's going to be really hard to just leave that relationship. You can, and you probably should, but like it's going to take a little bit of time, a little bit of coordination and stuff. So like don't stress yourself out over it. And then lastly, with the physical side of things, what makes you feel in tune with with your physical existence? Sometimes we start to dive too far into the spiritual side of things in this spiritual world, and we start to neglect our physical side of things, or we're so busy with work or with kids or with life that we forget to we neglect our physical side of things. So it's important to get back into the physical side of things. And that can be anything from gardening, or it can be playing around with your kids, or it can be doing a contact, or not a contact, but like a grounding sport. Like for me, I do jujitsu, super grounding, and it makes me feel like I am in tune with my body, because the next day when my whole body's hurting, I'm really in tune with it, and I know that it's hurting. But also you have to think about what you're doing with your body, and it makes you in tune with it. Doing yoga, doing breath work, all of that can bring you into your physical existence, or make you feel in tune with your physical body and your physical existence. So that's what you need to do. And allow yourself to move into the things that better serve you. Yeah, so basically just allowing yourself to move into the things that better serve you and getting rid of the things that don't serve you. That is a big thing that the universe is saying for people to do right now. So do it. And then do some breathing techniques afterwards that I taught in the last Sunday energy update 2 weeks ago. So Brandon said, I'm about to make these boxes. That is perfect. This sounds exactly like what is happening with me also. Yeah, honestly, those boxes are in the spiritual realm of things, at least for me. When I first started, I was like, I don't need to write anything down. I don't need to do any kind of physical stuff. I can figure it all out in the spiritual realm of things. And I was just wrong. It is so important to write things down. I still am not a writer downer. Like, I don't journal things. I don't write a lot of stuff down. Probably should. But like, when you need to make a decision or you need to look at what's affecting you, a bunch of Sunday Energy updates ago, I did a box with like, I did the boxes for like, where's your energy going? And that was a cool one. And I'm not going to go through all that again because that's like a 10-minute conversation. But doing the boxes can be so incredibly helpful, and I really encourage you to do it because it like changed my life. It really did, especially the job one. If I didn't do that, I ultimately would have quit probably, but like, it helped me. And I was like, I see now. I see that this is not what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm only doing it for the money, and that is going against everything that I believe. So anyway, do the boxes, and Brandon, also let me know how it feels or how it works for you. And if you have any questions about it, you can text me anytime, and I can help you out with it or whatever. But super useful. All right. Anything else with that? Boxes, looking at everything. All right. Just don't forget throughout this week that we are throughout for a while, that we are in a root chakra energy right now. And understand that it's important, or just understand it. Okay, so now I want to go into this channeled message, which it has, just like all the channeled messages, it has a deeper meaning for each little piece that's there. I was really liking this one because I realized I was really deep when I was doing this one, because I wrote it down and then something happened where my attention like snapped out of my channeling, and then I went back in and I was like, okay, what was I writing before? And I could not remember anything that I have written so far. And that's how I know that I've been really deep into the channeling process. And then I was like, all right, I don't need to know because I'm channeling. So I channeled it. And this comes from one of my spirit guides. I don't know which one, to be honest, but it comes from one of them. All right. So, channeled message for this week is: things don't change without resolution. Resolution does not happen without conflict. Conflict does not happen without provoking energy. It is all a process that we must ride out and learn to manage. When we move into this type of energy, we must learn to manage the emotions and the reactions to better serve humanity. By doing this, we establish an understanding between emotional stability and healthy reactions. We as a collective share divine space in all time and dimensions. If we can learn to manage our energy better, this will allow us to move to higher levels. And us is humanity, by the way. So with this message, I ask that you try to work on your management of your emotions and your management of your reactions. With mastery of this, you can change the world. I thought that was a powerful message. I truly did. So if you didn't get it, and just to kind of touch on it and give my opinions of it, is it's basically saying that, when they're wanting us to focus on how we react to things and our emotional stability, because a lot of us can get emotionally out of whack, especially when we hear of things happening or when we see things happening or whatever, or when things happen to us. And then our reactions aren't that great. And we need to focus on our reactions, because it is extremely valuable to be able to manage those reactions and our emotions. So they're saying when we do that, we are not only affecting our reality right now, we are also affecting all timelines and dimensions. That was something that was kind of like just snuck in there, but also like a big message that we're not just affecting us, we're affecting timelines and dimensions throughout all of existence. That's a big deal. And then they say when we learn to manage our energy better within this realm of things, this allows us And us is like not just us. Like us is a big us. Humanity. It allows us to move to higher levels. And what I actually thought about with that was like the Pleiadians and like, or the Atlanteans or like whatever, which all in the same pretty much. But like the higher frequency beings, that's what I thought about with that. So take that for whatever you want and take whatever you need from that. But I did think that was a very nice message. All right, so I did want to mention a couple of things really quick. So, and that's because that's the end of like the official Sunday energy update. But as you know, I talk about much more stuff and I go into other things. One announcement that I had is a long time ago, I had a friend that was like, I had this amazing Akashic record reading. And I was like, oh, really? I would love to get one. And she said, the guy's from Canada. So I did it. And what he did is he would record, you would send him like 6 questions, and he would record his channeling to those questions. And I got it, and I was like, whoa, that was really cool. And I was also like, why don't I do this? I think this is really cool to be able to offer that. And that's something I can do and I'm always interested in, but why am I not doing it? And I was like, whatever. Months and months went by. And then all of a sudden I started getting the urge to do them. And I was like, well, I'm going to do them for some friends and stuff to see, just to iron out like the recording. Like, how do I send the recording? How many questions should I do? And just things like that. So I did it for like, I don't know, 5 to 8 people, and they were some really strong readings, like really strong messages in these Akashic record readings, and they got a lot of clarity, and I was actually really shocked with a lot of the stuff that was coming up. So with that being said, I am now offering these sessions. I have not put it on my scheduling link yet, but I'm about to here in a little while. But because when I was asking my guides, is there anything else I want to bring up? They were like, yes, we want you to do Akashic record readings. And I was like, all right. So the way that works is you send me up to 5 questions. And with those 5 questions can be anything. Like, what is my life purpose? Or what am I supposed to be doing in this career? Or like, should I stay in this relationship? Or anything like that. And you send me those 5 questions. And then I sit down within a day or two and I go over the questions and I record the answers to those questions. And then I send those to you, and you'll have that always recorded there. And I send that to you, and it's usually about an hour-ish long. So you'll be able to listen to it in your own time, be able to listen to it back, be able to listen to it with your friends or whatever you want to do. It's there. And that I am, for right now, it's a special price. I'm doing it for $65. So if you're interested, $65, and you can receive an Akashic record. If you pay for it, typically I can get it to you within, like, from the day you pay, I can typically get it to you within 2 to like 4 days-ish. Typically, it's pretty quick, though. It's a pretty quick turnaround. It just depends on the volume of how many people I'm getting doing that. So anyway, super cool option, and I am super excited to start offering that. All right, so then another thing that I wanted to mention, that's a big announcement for anyone that's in person. I know I have a lot of people that watch this on YouTube and people from around the world that watch this that aren't from the area, but for the people that are, at the West Side location, the Delhi location, I am getting ready to put in a Zen room. So for anyone that's been there, you've seen the conference room. Well, maybe you've seen the conference room. We have a conference room there. It's a big room, and it's always been the conference room, and it's been great. And I have done many classes in there, and I've loved it. But also, it does not have much use. Like, a lot of people don't use it. It's maybe used once a month. So I am now making it into a Zen room, which means that there's going to be beds, like a bed with an infrared mat on it to where you are getting your negative ions taken out and recharged, and you are getting all the benefits from that. And it's also laced with like I forget what crystal. I'd have to look at the description again. I forget it all at this point. I did a lot of research though getting all of this. But also while you're doing that, there's red light therapy that's going to be happening. So you have red light therapy happening as well, which is helping to rejuvenate the cells in your body, and it helps so many things. Excuse me. And then we're going to have like a little reading station where we're going to have some spiritual books, and we're going to have a grounding mat with a chair where you put your feet on the grounding mat, and it helps to ground you, and it helps to get rid of any negative energy in the body, and it helps you to feel more grounded, rooted, and stable. And then I'm going to, this might be a little bit later in the process because I have to make the whole dang thing myself. I'm going to get a copper pyramid that you can meditate in. And then I'm going to have a little sitting area where there's like 2 chairs and then a table. And we're going to have like some salt lamps in there, but also we're going to have some tarot or oracle cards in there with a description of how to do it. So you can do some self-serve oracle card stuff where you go through and you're like, whoa, this, I got this oracle card. What's it mean? You open the book and it tells you exactly what it means. And you can get your oracle card for the day, and it gives you a very personal message. I'm also going to have a station for aromatherapy where it's going to have instructions on this scent is for this is for that, and you can place it on the area that you're supposed to for aromatherapy. I'm also going to have tuning forks, vibrational and frequency tuning forks with instructions that you can use to do whatever you need to do. And there'll be like some instructions there on how you can use them. Like you can use the third eye tuning fork to boost your third eye and cleanse the third eye area, or you can send it through to work on your auric field or whatever you need to do. If you're having any issues with anything, you can use the tuning forks there. Ultimately, I do want to get a sound bed in there, but that's a little bit away down the road, and that's where it works with sound and vibration, and it helps clear and cleanse your energy, and they're amazing. It takes you on an amazing journey. And there's some other things that I'm going to do in there as well that I forget at this moment because I'm just on a whim just telling you about it, but it's going to be cool. With that being said, it's going to be for the practitioners at the center to use, and it's going to be for their clients to use, or their whoever's coming in to use. If you're coming in for meditation and you want to use the room and we have time, we can. I'm also going to set it up to where maybe, and I don't, this is very early in the stages with this, but maybe where there's like a very low monthly fee that you can pay to be able to come in there anytime you want, and you just go straight to the back to the Zen room, and you can just Zen out for an hour or a half an hour or however long we set the time for, and you can do that anytime you want, once a day or something along those lines early in the process. But we're gonna get this rolling, so that's in the works. That'll be done by the end of next month, so stay tuned for that. I'll have more announcements for that. All right, so I do also want to talk about the online courses. I do have a lot of online courses that are out there, and I want to let you know that in the comments there is a link to go to those online courses. Check them out because it is so useful. I just had someone message me the other day telling me how amazing the course was and how thankful she is that I did it, and she hopes that I put out more. And I receive a lot of messages about them with good feedback. So check them out, and you might have to log in, but you're not going to have to pay for anything. You can look at the lessons or the courses, and you can also get free lessons with them. So like it's like usually there's one free lesson that you can look at, and it helps you to get a feel for that course. But I'm working on it, guys. I know everybody's been hearing me for months now talking about this mediumship course. This medium course has 18 modules with like 6 courses in each module. Like, it's crazy. And in each in each class, there's a video. So that's 18 modules with like 6 classes in each one with a video on each one. It is an extensive course in mediumship. So if you're interested in mediumship, that will be out. Who the heck knows? But I am 3/4 of the way done, and that's more than I was a week ago. So I'm really excited about that. So that'll be coming out at some point. But I'm going to be continuing to do classes online. So please feel free to check that out. And then I'm just going to read this comment, and then I'm going to go through a couple other things. Actually, there's two more big announcements as well. So Brandon said, this entire update is resonating with me as if I'm meant to be here watching it right now from the beginning all the way to these new things you're doing in the center. That's awesome, dude. I love that. I really do. I truly believe that these updates are going to give people exactly what they need to hear. Even if someone watches this update and doesn't agree with anything about it, that's exactly what needed to happen with them. So I appreciate the feedback, and I appreciate you being active in the comments. Like, I love when people are talking in the comments because it makes me feel like I'm not alone here talking to a camera. So I appreciate it. And I'm super glad that it's resonating with you. I truly am. All right. So then, office space for rent in Sharonville. Not going to spend a lot of time on it. Awesome office up there. If you or anyone else is interested in renting a space up there, I have 4 offices that I need to fill up there that are just sitting there waiting for an amazing practitioner to come. So even if you're not completely in the holistic field of things, but you're looking for an office space, reach out and we'll talk about it. Then my Monday healing circles. Usually, so every single Monday, I do a spiritual discussion and energy healing circle. It's not every week now. For the summer only, it is every other week. So I actually missed this past Monday because of some stuff that came up, but I'm also not having it this week. This next Monday, tomorrow. It will be next Monday. I think it's July 7th. Let me see. Yeah, July 7th. So on July 7th, I'll be back, and it's bi-weekly now for the Monday Energy Healing Circle. And then I also wanted to note that I do teach Reiki, and I teach private lessons for Reiki, and it is super awesome. It really is. It's super personal and super structured to fit you and your needs, and you learn a lot. And then I also have energy healing sessions that I can do remotely, which virtually, like through Zoom or whatever, and I do them in person. So I'm going to put a link to all of that in the YouTube description, and I'm also going to put to my scheduling, and then I'm also going to put a link to it in the comments. But you can also just check out the website, and all of that's on there. And then lastly, fertility healing. If anybody is interested in fertility healing, and you or someone that you know is having trouble conceiving, I would love to chat and talk about that, because that's something that I am wanting to get a little bit more into, and it would be free for the first couple that I'm doing for people. So it would be free. We would work through it. I would just ask for some testimonial if it works, which I fully believe it will. All right. Other than that, I don't think that I have any other immediate announcements. I will be here again next Sunday with another Sunday energy update, and I've been kind of thinking about in between those Sundays, like every Sunday, that I'm not doing a energy healing, a Sunday energy update, doing something where I'm at least getting on here and like talking about something, but we'll see. Other than that, that's it. I appreciate you watching. Check out all the links in the description or in the comments to go to the online courses, to check out the website, to do whatever you feel like you need to do. I do have a donation link in the comments as well. If you feel like you would like to donate, feel free. I would love it. All right. I hope that you all have an amazing week. Please do the things that we talked about, because it's really going to help you. And I appreciate you all being here. I will see you next time.